Hello, hello. This is Roma. Welcome to Tea with a Druid. My name is Roma Johnson. I'm a member of the Order. I've seen some of you uh, before at other times, and I'm happy to be with you again tonight. We're going to talk about longing and talking about being in more than one place at the same time. This is really a key theme for me. I live in Princeton. I'm coming to you from Princeton this evening. Hello, Ruben. And I'm coming to you from Princeton this evening. And I live in Princeton, but I also spend about a third to half of my time each year in Scotland. Hello, James. And so I'm very interested in this idea of living in two places at one time. Hello, James. Hello, Kat from Germany. Hello, Julia from London. Hello, Addie from Norway. My, this is a nice crowd. Here we are, halfway between Chinese New Year's and Imbolc, so festive. Anyway, I'm talking about being in two places at one time, and I'm very glad you're here because I feel like watching you and being here is another version of the same thing. So tonight I'll talk about longing. I had an interesting experience the other day. 2 days ago was the birthday of Robert Burns, the great Scottish poet. And anybody who has Scottish heritage knows that it's imperative that you have a Burns night or that you celebrate the birthday of Robert Burns. And so I went to a Robert Burns night when I was in the Isle of Lewis a few years ago, and it was quite a formal affair. We were piped in with bagpipes, and people had their kilts on and all the regalia, and the women were dressed in jewels and gowns, and there was a toast, of course, and then the entire biography of Robert Burns was read, and then the haggis was brought in on a plate, platter, and laid down before the high muckety-muck, whoever was who was heading up this evening. More poems were said, including the appreciation of the haggis poem, and it was all very formal. I don't need to go further, but it was very formal and very, very fun. So it was Burns night in Princeton. So I went to Burns night at the public library, the Princeton Public Library. And it was just music. It was just sitting there listening to this group who came in to sing Burns's poetry and songs and played some beautiful Celtic music. And I sat there listening to this very lilting music, and I wept silently for the entire performance, just deeply, deeply, deeply homesick for Scotland. And I could hardly manage being there and being so homesick. And yet I'm home. I'm in Princeton. I love Princeton. This is where I thrive and live. So what is this, My grandmother used to say to me, Roma, you cannot be in two places at one time. But I'm not completely convinced that my grandma was right in this regard. I think sometimes we can be in two places at one time, because although I sat in that Burns night and I was deeply homesick for Scotland and wanted nothing more than to find myself there, I also have to admit that when I'm in Scotland and I'm sitting in the visitor center at Callanish or in my hotel room and I'm reading something that's written by one of the scientists here, or one of the amazing thought leaders here in this university town, I find myself homesick for Princeton. And I think about the coffee shops, and I think about the bookstores, and I think about the libraries, and I think about the lecture halls at Mother Princeton, and I get homesick. And I think, well, isn't that weird that you can be in one place and wish you were in the other, and then you get to the other place and you wish you were in this place? What is that about, you know? And I started thinking about this a lot, thinking about longing. Oh, look at all these people coming in from Tintagel. Oh, how lovely. From Texas, from Tom's River. Whew, this is marvelous. Welcome, all of you. I'm happy to have you here. Then I'm there. So anyhow, I started thinking about this living in two places and this longing, this idea of longing and being homesick for someplace that you're not. And I think that it's not just a form of discontentment. I think it's not just that I have this curmudgeonly grass is always greener over the other side of the fence in me. I think that longing for the place, the other place, is something that's deeper. I think it's, first of all, I think it's connected to my idealism. Because when I think of the other place, when I'm in Princeton and I'm thinking of Scotland, I'm thinking of the beautiful Scotland, the beautiful light, the way that the light falls behind the hills in the gloaming. I think about the lochs, and I think about the walking through the stones. And I don't think about tourists, and I don't think about tour buses arriving, and I don't think about muddy boots. I just think about how perfect it is and how absolutely perfect and nurturing it is, you know? And when I'm there, and I'm thinking about Princeton, in this case, I'm not thinking about, oh, I've got to go home because I've got a lot to do and I've got meetings coming up and I've got deadlines to meet and all that other stuff. I'm thinking about my stuff, you know, my house, my possessions, my beautiful workspace, my comfort, my home. And that idealism, I think, is what connects us to these places, is that we can hold the real everydayness of them, and we can hold the ideal of them at the same time in our hearts. So I think one function of this longing is idealism, that we want to have this ideal picture of the place. And I think the other function for me is that longing is a function of connectedness. It connects me to the place, the other place, when I'm in this place. And I think we have an inborn need, kind of, that comes with birth into this human body, that we want to feel connected to something that is beautiful and spiritual and nurturing and feeds us. And that this longing is a function of the connectedness that we so need and desire. So that's kind of my thinking. So I'm thinking, you know, I don't think it's a character flaw. Thank you, Grandma. I'm not sure that it is a character flaw. I think that if I can use longing in a positive way and use it as a conveyance for me, that it's very, very helpful. So I thought that we might try something just to see what the experiment would be like of working with these two places. Now, in order to do this, each of us will have to have our two places. I know what mine are. You probably know what yours are. I will call them the home place, and I will call them away place. Okay? And we'll work with a little bit with the tension and the longing between our home place and our away place. And so I'm hoping that now you've kind of thought about this and you've kind of come up with where those two places are. Most of us know pretty well what they are. And we'll try a little a guided meditation that will take us on this journey. So hopefully you're all ready for that. Looking at all these people that just came in, that's great. Thank you. So let's talk about that. Let's go there. So first of all, let's just center and just get where you are. Just think about where you are in your home place. I'm going to assume that you are in your home place, or at least you can imagine yourself being in your home place. So, so we'll go from there. And when I say your away place, let me just say that your away place in this case is not rooted in time. In other words, this away place can be a memory, it can be something from long ago, a place you wish you could go back to. It can be a future place, a place that exists after something has changed or something comes about. The away place does not have to be rooted in space either, because it can be far, far, far away, or it can be easy to get to and right at hand. So we're working with these two images. So you might just take a second. I'm going to stop talking for a second while you kind of center yourself and just picture what these two places might be for you. Okay, so let's just start off by taking a deep breath or two. And now picture yourself, feel yourself, better word, feel yourself in your home place. Really ground yourself in your home place. This is where you live. This is where your heart lives. Close your eyes maybe now. And with your inner eye, look around at your home place. Look at the furnishings. Look at your possessions, your favorite possessions, your knickknacks, your favorite lamp, your favorite chair. Look out your favorite window and see what you see from there. Imagine your home. Walk from room to room if you want. Smell something. Maybe something's cooking. Feel the light. Maybe if it's evening, the lamps are just coming on. If it's daytime, it's just getting sunny outside. Think about the colors. What are the colors in your room? Think about the fabrics. Think about the soft places and the hard places. And just walk around in total and wonderful appreciation of where you are when you are at home. Maybe there's somebody there with you, and that's fine. You're home. This is your home. This is your heart space. This is where you can be really you. But even as you're here, even as you're in your heart space, even as you're in your home space. Maybe you feel a little bit of a longing for your away place. Maybe you're a little bit homesick for your away place. Remember, this away place doesn't have to be in time, the same time, or in space, the same space. But you think about your away place, and even though you're very comfortable and happy at home, you start feeling a longing to be in that other place. And that longing becomes more intense, and you wish maybe you could be there. You feel a little homesickness. And that place is calling to you. And so, coming to your door, you look out your door, and you see a vehicle. There's a vehicle out there. Now, that vehicle can be a car, a train, a plane, a boat, a spaceship. Fine. That vehicle is here to take you to your away place. So get in the vehicle, get ready for a ride. We're on our way to our away place. Maybe a long journey, but we're on our way. Look out the window. This is a liminal place. This is a threshold place. Look out the window. What do you see? And then the vehicle comes to a stop, and there you are. You're in your away place. Look around. What do you see? Look at the colors. Look at the light. Look at the kinds of activity you like to do in this away place. Imagine yourself being there at last. You've been homesick for this place, and now you're here. What do you see? What do you hear? What do you feel? You have a joy of being here. Spend a little time here. But even as you're here, you start thinking, well, this is great. I love this. This is perfect. I'm happy to be here, but I'm kind of getting homesick. I'm thinking about my home. I'm thinking about my comfy chair. I'm thinking about what I'm going to have for dinner. I'm thinking about lighting the lamps. I'm thinking about petting my dog again. And as that longing for home grows in you, acknowledge it, even though you are very happy here in your away place. And sure enough, as soon as you acknowledge it, the vehicle reappears. Your train or your ferry or your boat or your plane or your spaceship or your time capsule. And once again, you get inside, and this time you're headed for home, knowing that you'll be able to come back to this place whenever you want. So off you go. Don't forget to look out the window. What does it look like as you travel through on your way from your away place to your home place? And you see your home place coming nearer and nearer. And then your vehicle comes to a stop and you're home. Then you get out in front of the door, but before you go in, just acknowledge the fact that you will always have your away place in your heart. just as your home place was in your heart when you were there. And that you will always be able to go back and forth between two places at once. So open the door, go back inside, find your comfy place, your home. You're in your home place. Open your eyes. Welcome home. Whew, I went right along with you on that journey. And you know what I realized? I realized that I have a dog in my away place. And I kept thinking, I wish I could bring the dog with me on the vehicle from place to place. Maybe you felt the same way. Anyway, know that you can live in two places at once, and know that longing is the positive thing, that longing is what takes you from one place to the other. Have a happy day. Hold a happy thought, and take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.